I almost died trying to prevent the end of the universe. This story starts 18 months ago, and looking back now, everything I experienced is a bit of a blur, but I'll do my best to tell the story as I experienced it. Everything in my life was going extremely well. Time seemed to be stretching out in front of me. Have you ever experienced a day that felt so long it might as well have been a week? That was happening to me. Day after day was longer than the next. And I started to notice something else strange about time. I would look at clocks, and they'd be showing me the exact time I was thinking of in my head, which is weird, right? Like that doesn't usually happen. A few days later, I was out for a walk, and looking up at the sky, I noticed there wasn't a single cloud in sight. Not one. That doesn't happen. This is Seattle. Clouds are like our thing. I was thinking, time is acting strange. All the clouds are gone. And on top of that, everyone around me seemed really scared, like something terrible had happened. They all said they were just concerned about me, but I was fine. There was definitely something else going on. My perception of the past, present, and future all started to blur together. And like Obi-Wan Kenobi, who felt the death of Alderaan through the Force, I could feel that something truly terrible had happened to the fundamental substance of reality. This is a hard thing to explain standing here in a very real and solid world, but my perception of everything being real and existing was gone. I'm going to try to give you an example of this. I invite you all to close your eyes for just a moment. I'm sure you can sense the people sitting next to you, maybe the rest of the people in this room, and even if you can't see or hear anything outside of this building, you know that the rest of the city and, well, the whole world is there. It exists. You can open your eyes. My experience was the exact opposite of that. I knew everything was gone. I was in some type of backup universe. Like the regular universe was destroyed, and I was in like a life raft backup universe. It wasn't as good. Time was acting strange. There were no clouds in the sky. And part of my mind was still questioning everything I was experiencing. And around a week ago, everything made a lot more sense. My troubles were simple ones. And in an attempt to break free of this backup reality that I felt trapped in, I took a glass from our kitchen cupboard. I threw it at the tile floor with all the pain and desperation that I felt in that moment. Unsurprisingly to me, that glass just bounced off the floor, right? Nothing was working, right? But I took that as proof that, yes, everything was gone. Everything had broken. I was all alone. I was trapped in some universe that no longer made sense. A few hours later, some truly compassionate paramedics arrived that my family had called. They took me to the emergency room at Queen Anne Hospital, and I lay strapped to a gurney in a hallway, all alone, racked by an overwhelming sense of loss. Everything that I cared the most about in the world was gone. And laying in that bed, all I wanted was to get back to the world I could remember. A world full of happiness and laughter, beautiful living forests, and, well, clouds. What happened next is hard to remember and even more difficult to explain. But as I lay there in that bed, I started to believe that anything that could be unmade could be made whole again. I started to pour all of my willpower, all of my attention into the present and into that world that I could remember. And 2 incredibly long days later, I was transferred to the psychiatric ward at Fairfax Behavioral Health Hospital. And over the course of about a week, my perception of reality and the world slowly returned to what I remembered, to a familiar world. And I realized the world had not changed. Everything was still there. It was only me and my perspective that were different. And standing here today, I have so much compassion for everyone who struggles in their life, and a deep, deep appreciation for the simple things in life, like a beautiful sky full of clouds. Thank you all.